We are live. Hi, Ona.
Hello, hello. So
How-
glad.
So glad it's Saturday.
I'm so glad, yes, that I have this structure in my day because every other thing has been going in a bunch of different directions. And I'm starting to like thread together that this is all Pluto related and all the shenanery things that are happening with Pluto right now. I'm putting cilantro in everything I eat or coffee, whatever. I've got bunches of
I guess
cilantro.
we should look up the medicinal properties of cilantro.
Yeah. And I'm like, it's the Pluto thing. And then I know I've had a couple of family members that sustained head injuries on the same day this week, and, the elders, and just a lot of things that seem to be related to this Pluto's last moment in Capricorn. Just,
Yeah. Capricorn is the sign of old age. Um, hello everybody. Welcome to Mystic Sisters. It's Saturday night. The week that was, the week ahead. Woo, baby. So I want to just give a shout out to Kathy. Hi, Kathy. Teresa, Martha, I think. I gotta get new
it says
glasses.
Martha. Yes.
Yeah. Kareen,
He loves
hi,
cilantro.
Violet, Connie, Paula, my girl Paula. All right, so
Connie B said cilantro might help remove metals such as mercury, lead, and aluminum from the body.
thank you, Connie. I know it had some sort of medicinal. Uh,
And I've been saying I've been feeling magnetic, and I think it's going to be solar flare related. But see how spirit works, how funny they are.
yeah. I've been thinking about actually getting tested for heavy metals because I grew up in an industrialized, I grew up in New Jersey,
Yeah.
and I know the like water mains and stuff there are made of lead. I mean, they're old, and I mean they were old when I was young, so they're probably updated now. But when I was young,
Yeah.
yeah,
You should, honestly. My mom used to line the oven with aluminum foil to, like,
yeah,
guess, keep the integrity of the oven, like, clean.
yeah. My mother too.
And I think, like, why didn't I get colon cancer when I was 13 instead of 49? Like, some of the things I reflect on, I think, yeah, there was, when you think about toxicities that are, not visible. Okay.
Well,
And they're just,
probably because your cancer was a wake up call to your spiritual practices and your spiritual journey. So I don't think you would have
yeah,
understood that at 13 or 16 or whatever.
yeah,
I guess things happen when they're meant to happen.
yeah.
Otherwise,
I have had the exposure to the heavy metals. What in chemotherapy, I had cisplatin, and that is why I have neuropathy, and probably that heavy hit of synesthesia too. But in an MRI, my legs from my knees down levitate
oh my God.
in an MRI because of the metal.
I wonder if something like chelation therapy. Have you ever heard of chelation therapy?
I have.
Because it takes out heavy metals out of your system, and it also it helps to with arteriosclerosis
Yeah.
because the arterial, like when they look at a vessel and they see the cholesterol buildup, that's actually it's like a band-aid, because what's happened is that the vessel wall has gotten irritated in some way, and so the body lays down the cholesterol in order to sort of heal that.
Yeah.
And so what it does is it takes out, like it takes out the cholesterol, and it's really it's been around for years. I know there's a doctor here in a in Plymouth, actually,
Yeah.
that used to do chelate. I don't know if he's still doing. I don't know if he's still there, but um, it's an alternative to like invasive heart stuff. But of course the insurance companies don't cover it, so you would have to pay for yourself.
Right.
But it's definitely, I mean, if you have metals and it's a consideration.
Yeah, that's what's causing that. It's interesting that, and I've done everything I could to try and just sort of knock it out, and it's always going to be there, but it, at least you can control it a little bit. It's just chronic pain. And I don't know. I mean, I would be willing to do a detox metal thing and see if I could detox and if that would improve it.
Yeah, you can do it. You don't have to do it because chelation is, they have to do an IV, but you can do chelation without the use of the IV. It's just it's a different way of doing it. I think they do with. I'm not exactly sure. I never did it in my practice. So
Yeah.
I'm not exactly sure what it, but I know a lot of chiropractors do that.
Yeah.
To get rid of heavy metals, and they do assays on your hair and stuff. So
Yeah.
although my hair is colored, so I don't think they can do that. I don't know, actually. I should.
They want to pay for it. They can take some hair and see what, Yeah, insurance is going to pay. It sounds like it's more of a studies and experimental kind of thing. Like that wouldn't be something that insurance would cover.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
Even though it's been around for like 30 years.
You know what? I have to say something. I started writing a couple things down before I forget anything about what's going on and what's about to happen. I have to say that I saw voting lines. I went to meet some friends for lunch, and I was going to vote first and then meet up with them. It was just down the street, and I saw the line, and then I looked and I'm like, I'm going to do this on my way back. Yeah. I can't do this right now. On the way back, it was even worse.
Or even better.
I mean, in terms of waiting time. So if
I know.
Go and vote early and vote off hours if you can. And if you can't, then bring a snack, right? So bring a snack, bring something to drink, make sure your phone is charged and, do it. But man, oh man, I've never seen anything like that.
Yep.
During the day, during the week.
Yeah. I think that they don't even know. Like, I think the blue tsunami that we keep talking about is just the amount of people that are going to come out and vote. I really do.
I can't. Yeah. It's got to be this. It's got to be the thing we've been hoping for the whole time, the blue tsunami, because I lived in Tennessee when Obama was elected. So I was witness to a small town kind of thing. But this is unbelievable. So be prepared to wait if you have to. If you can't go that day.
And then, of course, if you can do mail-in, then that's, as long I'm assuming that you're in a state where they don't make it extra hard for stuff like that.
Yeah. I did get my mail-in ballot this week, and I thought, no. I know voting is in my building, but I want to vote early just because I'm working that day.
Yeah.
And I don't want to fall outside of that window at all.
Last time
it's going to be jamming down the block. Now I know it's going to be super busy. Even if I live here, it doesn't mean I don't have to wait in line,
I don't know. I mean, last presidential election, that was COVID. So I did a mail-in, and my mom was with me. So she did, we did the whole family did a mail-in. But I like going to the polls, and I like actually doing the stuff and then putting it in the computer. And when I leave, I feel like there's just such a feeling that I get when I leave after I vote. Like, well, I put my 2 cents in, you know what I mean? And my 2 cents may add up to a blue tsunami, but certainly in Massachusetts, I don't expect anything but blue here, but it's I can feel I know there's a lot of dread out there, and I have been watching here and there some stuff. I think that Trump is losing. I don't know. I think he's like powering down.
Yeah.
And then did you hear Tucker Carlson? Did you hear his speech about America is like a teenage girl who's come home and her daddy has to spank her?
You know what? How I I don't know how I got vomit to stay off the screen of my camera. It was practically spraying all over the place. When he like that kind of it's so cringe. It's inexplicable. Ew. Okay. The hair on the back of my neck is standing on and my tail is growing right now. It's so foul. It's just honestly, who wrote that? Who approved that? Who edited it? And then they gave it the final okay. You could say that. I mean,
Well, I'm sure
unbelievable.
he does all that. I mean, he strikes me as somebody who definitely has a point of view and makes to make sure that it's clear. Like, I don't think anybody wrote that for him. I think that came out of his heart.
They're
And
just trying to push that sort of he's not an old man, he's a dad kind of thing. No, no.
no, he's an abusive. It sounded abusive. It sounded pedophilic. It
I
just
know.
everything about it was just like. But it's funny because in the mornings I get up and I usually watch somebody named David Feldman. I don't know if you've ever watched him. He's from New York. He's a comedian. He used to be a stand-up comedian. I don't know if he still does that. But he has a show and he's unbelievable. I mean, he's just so politically adept. And he said this morning that the Republican Party is a party of unresolved trauma victims.
Yeah.
And I was like, he's so right.
Yeah.
He's so right. Because even like the women that I know that are like, well, Trump this, Trump that, Trump this, they all have like really like messed up relationships with their fathers. Their fathers are authoritarian. They withheld love. Who knows what else they did? You know what I'm saying? So it's like, whew, this is really and when I listened to it with that in mind, and I felt bad for him because his mother abandoned him when he was like 6 years old, never wanted to see him again. Him and
Mm,
his brother. She just left and said no.
wow.
So he's got a deep wound there, and it it just sort of comes up to me like a lot of what we're seeing, especially with the gender gap,
Yeah.
with men going in the direction of Trump, is has to do with the fact that a lot of these men don't have a place. They don't feel like they have a place. And men need things to do. Men need things to protect. They need, it's just like the nature that's going to make them feel wanted. And I think that they're just so super angry
Yeah.
at, I guess, their mothers, or or whatever, or the feminine that it's.
So it's okay. We'll still be here to clean up the big damn mess when it's over anyway. We'll still be here.
We have a lot of work ahead of us.
I wanted to address Wendy and hey, Wendy, hey, Cindy, hey, you guys that said her husband's ballot was refused because they said the signature didn't match the signature they had on file. That sounds like bullshittery to me.
Wow.
Yeah. That's that.
So what happens in a case like that, Wendy? Because I know Wendy lives in Oregon, and that's a big mail-in state, I think, right? Does he have to go in person then, or prove himself?
Probably has to bring all that documentation and then be able to vote in person. But yeah, it's gonna be an intense week. What kind of week is it gonna be like astrologically this coming week?
Well,
Where could we
actually,
go?
Well, the end of the week we have the new moon. We'll be on again for moon shadows.
Yeah, she
Um,
been all crazy this moon. This moon has been all over the sky. It's so I can't follow its sequence. I get like 180 degrees and it starts in like almost dusk night sky and then nothing. I don't see anything until 3 o'clock in the morning and she wakes me up. I've been like I've been falling asleep on the couch so I don't miss this, this sequence that's winding down to the Halloween that's coming up. This is going to be an interesting week.
yeah, yeah, it is. Yeah, so let's see what's going on this week. We have a Venus Saturn square on Monday. Um, Venus at 13 of Sag and Saturn at 13 of Pisces. Do you have
So
anything? You don't have anything at 13 of Sag.
I don't
No,
know. It
no,
sounds
I
like
didn't
Venus wants to buy a big new couch, and Saturn says it's not going to fit in the living room, kind of thing.
Oh, we also have Mars trine Neptune. Well, that's good.
Okay.
That's good. I like that. Like if Mars and Neptune are going to be together, the trine is nice.
While Mars is in Cancer, it's okay.
Yeah, but the only thing I worry about with that is the weather.
Yes. It's the crybaby.
Weather. No,
Mhm.
the weather. All that water.
Yeah.
I was looking at
Yeah.
I'm looking at next year now because I'm getting stuff ready for the new year.
Right.
And next year is just like, but it isn't going to be a 9 year, so it's going to be about wrapping things up. There's a lot of work. There's a lot of and a
Yeah.
couple of surprises, I think, next year.
What do you think is the dominant element? Because Pluto's moving into Aquarius, is moving into air, and Saturn's going to finally get its butt out of Pisces.
But only for a little while, and
Yeah,
then it
that's
goes back
right.
into
It's going to
Pisces.
go back in there. So
Yep.
if it's a water-based
I
year,
think it's water and air actually, because
snow, right?
Uranus is moving into Gemini next year.
Air. There we go. Yeah. So things are gonna change.
All
Things are gonna
right,
change.
let's see what folks are saying. Mary says that no, somebody said that Michelle Obama did a fabulous speech. It also felt me feeling some dread. Well, I think it has to. I mean, I think that's the point of a lot of these speeches is to inspire, and then but keep us like on edge so that we actually do something about it. If people think that it's going to be okay, they're like, oh well, it's going to be okay. So there always has to be a little bit of dire prediction, I think, when they're trying to get people to do stuff. Like
Yeah,
we don't need that.
true.
We don't need the bad news. We know that if we want to build a country or a life, that we need to have input into that life and
Yeah.
things have to be fair. So we do stuff automatically to do that, but other people are just like, what's going on? They're just not as but more and more people are waking up. Right. And that's why the Republicans are like terrified that people are going to actually wake up and see that they actually have stolen, like Trump tried to steal the election, but Bush did.
Mhm.
Bush stole the election. So the Republicans have been doing this stuff for years, but they finally got somebody who was just so overt that you can't deny it. Like they can't deny it, and yet they do.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
it's like we need somebody, we need to clean the slates and get somebody there who's got some chutzpah.
Yeah.
Got some chutzpah.
And if a speech left you with a sense of dread, it's still a good speech. To elicit that kind of response from you, it's still a good speech, right? Because it made you feel something so deep that, you know, that it made that much of an impact on you. I haven't watched it. I've been in a different time zone for the past couple of days with some family stuff, but it seems like I don't need to be convinced. So I'm squeezing more time into sort of feeling out how the other side is going to respond to this, or how they can even still sort of think this way while watching this man clinically unfold every time he speaks.
He makes absolutely.
I'm trying to get over it. I can't get over it.
You can't. I mean, it was hard to watch Joe Biden, and he's not even. I'm not saying that they're because Joe Biden is way better, but of course he's 80,
It's different,
right?
yeah.
He's 80, and he's under a lot of stress, and it's not. He didn't just have stress because he was left with the mess of Trump. But they were attacking his family constantly. I mean, he got and nobody gave him any, like, nobody said, "Hey, Joe, you did a good job." Everybody was
Yeah.
drubbing Joe, and it just. Anyway, that was fun. This is now, right?
Yeah.
Now we have Kamala, and people are, I as hard as they try to like belittle her or demean her, she just comes back stronger because
Yeah.
she doesn't she's like that's not even an issue. Let's talk about what really matters.
Yeah. And to be honest, somebody who's like exactly the same age, you're over it. You're over it.
You
like, you think that anything that they've called her publicly or on TV, she hasn't been called even worse privately with all the the work she's done, and being I mean, come on, like, it's even a joke. You're over it when you're this age. You're like, come on, that is the best thing you can say. That is the best thing you can come up with. She's just not taking any of that bait at all. Good for her. It's not about that. We're not supposed to be baiting each other. She just does it to like prove to people what a mess he is. So I haven't really followed up on any of the things that happened today so much, but I know every day it's more intense, right? The vibe is just buzzing more. It seems like I need to watch cat and dog videos more often. Those little like short videos, just to sort of pull my head out of how intense it is.
Yeah. Well, I think laughter truly is the best medicine.
Oh yeah.
Especially now with this, I mean, Pluto is just inching out of Capricorn. And I mean, when you think about like the kind of stuff that, over the last couple of years, we've had the guy on the island, you know who I'm talking about, begins with an EJE. Yeah. We had him. Then we had, the president being proven as an adjudicated rapist, right? So he got kind of called on the carpet. There was just the DOJ went after the owner or the president or something of Abercrombie and Fitch. Did you hear about that?
No.
They were connected to the Limited, which was connected to Victoria's Secret. And what is his name? Wexler, who was the guy connected to Epstein. Epstein took care of his money or something. And that was the whole Victoria's Secret thing. But there was also this Abercrombie and Fitch, and they were saying that they would promise these young men jobs and gigs, pictures and stuff, and then they would like prostitute them. like they had to like, just like the what is that, in Hollywood they used to call it the casting couch, like that
Yeah.
kind of stuff. And
Yeah.
so they're getting they got indicted.
Good.
And then we also have the Diddy thing.
The Diddy thing, and there was a bunch of pre stuff too. I gotta say, this has probably been going on historically, but finally it's coming to, you can't do that anymore. It's coming to the point where these people are going to be taken seriously where they haven't been for so long.
Paula says the CEO, yeah, the CEO of Abercrombie and Fitch. And
Oh,
the thing is that kind of activity, back when Pluto was in Sag, that's when the Catholic Church broke here in Boston. When I first moved to Boston, I was driving down the street with my boyfriend at the time, and it was Sunday, and there was a big traffic jam, and I'm like, what the hell? It's Sunday. Why is there so many cars? And he said, that's church. And I looked, and there was a church on the hill, and all these people parked and getting to church and like walking a procession. I grew up in New Jersey. I mean, we were kind of religious, but nothing like they were here in Boston.
yeah.
Now it's like a peak. You just right
Yeah.
after that whole thing. So that happened when Pluto was in Sag.
Yeah.
But that action, and of course Sag rules religion and religious
Yeah.
institutions, but that activity is an abuse of power. It's not a crime of passion. It's not a crime it's a sexual crime, but it's one of power over.
Right.
And as Pluto moves out of Capricorn, that's an archetype that is sort of moving its way out. So it's almost like everything is getting like pushed aside.
Yeah.
And they say that whatever sign Pluto's in, the next sign is when all the stuff that came up when Pluto was in Capricorn gets resolved and gets fixed.
Good.
Well, we got 20 years, so we got plenty of time to do something.
I think I'm going to give that for my last 2 decades on like in this earth life. If I live to be 80, that'll be cool. I'll be okay with that. So Pluto's got like one last chance with me.
Well,
that's it.
I would just be nice to Pluto. If I were you, I wouldn't even say, "Hey, Pluto, you got one last chance." I wouldn't even
be challenging Pluto.
Don't challenge Pluto, please, my friend. I want my mystic sisters to stay around. Okay, just be. Watch that fresh mouth, girl.
I don't. It would be one of those things where I just want to, say, and good luck to you, but I don't want to burn any bridges because anything he does retrograde, I'll probably regret. So Pluto's not going to be the bad guy here, but I am glad it's leaving Capricorn.
Kathy McDonald asked, "Will the Madison Square rally for Trump really happen tomorrow?" Okay, I'll pick 3 cards from my deck here.
He had let me use the Forgotten Ones deck. I did understand he was very late, if not didn't show up for Michigan.
He did eventually show up, but I think it was like 2 something hours late, maybe more. And they were out. It was like cold out. It's Michigan. It's like the end of fall, right? So, I mean, mid-fall or late fall. I guess it's mid-fall. Are you okay?
Yeah, I just heard a banging noise. He has to be there anyway, right? For something.
I don't know.
And they're just like gathering a crowd together. What did you get?
I got the 5 of Wands, strife. The Ace of Pentacles reversed, and the 3 of Swords, sorrow. So I would say no, because they won't do it unless he pays them first. That's what it feels like to me.
I think it'll be there, but it might be cut short. So the first card I get is the Eight of Earth. So you see the makeup artist putting
Mhm.
the orange sludge and paste. You see all the orange paste on him. So they are like they're dressing him up and getting him ready. I get the mirrors of Earth. So I don't know who's hosting this thing, but she would probably be the one to spin it back around. So I get the Six of Wands, just sort of a declaration of victory, and then the Four of Swords,
Hmm.
which and that might be like it's just kind of cut short, or the mic is cut, or a distraction, a deterrence. But I think probably fall in the same pattern of the same things, just verbal vomit followed by weird movements, a lot of paste on the face, and then it just sort of drops off.
So he was 3 hours late. We had an interview with Joe Rogan, and Joe Rogan like asked him a real simple question, and he just looked at him like,
That is an interview right there. So they did like an interview that's going to go public, or it's sort of.
I imagine it's
I
on
want to
the
see.
Joe Rogan's podcast, right? It's going to be public.
Yeah, I
But
want to
he
see
didn't.
that.
I don't think he did very well on it. Well, I don't know. I only saw a little bit of it, and I can't listen to the guy, so I can't even like. Honestly, I can't even watch to see if he did
Fair.
okay. I just have to like I'll go to David Packman and say, "Okay, David, what happened?" Like because I know he'll be like as middle of the road as you can be and logical, right? And then I
Yeah.
can then I'm like, okay. So I get my information about him like secondhand, third hand, because I can't even tolerate the sound of his whiny ass voice.
Yeah, I really do want to see that interview. I think that'll be interesting. And you know what? It's not because I want to feel hate or anger. I truly want to study his body language and how he presents himself and how he slouches and moves, and if half of his face is drooping, sweating. Like I'm looking at the whole. I want to learn as much about that as I can too, as I see the
Yes.
obvious mental decline. But if you
Well, a lot of times I will watch him. Are you okay?
yeah,
I'll watch him, but I won't listen. Like I'll shut it off and I'll just watch his
right.
facial stuff
And you've got to be like in front of it right, and too, because I know the voice is.
a lot of unblended bronzer. Is that what that is?
Yes.
Well, orange is the new. It's funny. Orange is the new black, right?
That was a great series.
Right.
I don't know much of that. Trump
So,
is a monster, says Anne. Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's been kind of a disaster. There's been one thing that I found was interesting is Mary Trump Media. She has videos, and there was one talking about how when her grandfather had Alzheimer's, they would still put him in his suit and tie and give him a briefcase and drive him to the office and put papers in front of him, and so he pretended like he was still going to work. So this is pretty much the same thing where they're giving him a crowd, they're like poking him around from place to place and sort of appeasing that, he still has a job, he still has something to do. It's really the same thing. I did that with my mom. I gave her a bunch of yarn to make, she had Alzheimer's, to make scarves and things. Like she felt like she had a job to do making dog blankets.
yeah, my mother used to
Work
do
there.
word searches, And it was like it was her job. Like she
Yes.
saw it as her job, and she
Mhm.
would go through these books. I mean, if for the time that she was with me, I could probably fill a room with word search books that she actually did.
Yeah. Yeah.
Except we used them for the fireplace to start the fire. So
It's pretty much the same thing. If they're giving him a function, they're giving him something to do, right? But and behind the scenes,
give
they're
the guy
probably
give the guy something to do. Just get him off the. Oh my God. I think it was Mary who said that she's had Pluto conjunct her sun her whole life. So Pluto is like something she knows. Yeah, I mean, right? I mean, it's like being a Scorpio, right? I mean, Pluto conjunct the sun is almost like being a Scorpio, but that means that you're just reinventing yourself constantly.
yeah. Yeah.
Reinventing yourself constantly. Anybody really who has Pluto prominently in their chart has to deal with change because that's what Pluto's about, right? It's about change.
It's been something, huh? Elon Musk, like Alexandria says, Elon Musk wants to be shadow president. Yeah, that's a real creepy thing that's been kind of like he's gonna get in trouble for all this stuff.
Well, did you hear what happened with Bezos? Bezos, they were going to, I think the Washington Post was going to back Kamala in an editorial, and he pulled the editorial.
Really?
So he's holding back for some reason.
Yeah, I'm sure that all these people, that's just an admission of guilt. When you do stuff like that, it's just admitting you're guilty. Honestly, it's obvious. So I'm not really too anxious about this whole thing because I'm really excited about it. I just want to remind myself that we may not learn exactly what's going to happen that day.
So I picked 3 cards on Musk because somebody brought him up. I got the Prince of Swords, which is the King of Swords, but it's was reversed. So the King of Swords can be legal stuff, right? It can be the DOJ, it can be that kind of stuff. Then I got the Lovers, which is the Gemini card. So that's his partnership maybe with Trump. And then I got the 7 of Cups, debauchery or illusion delusion. So they're like crazy buddies. They're crazy buddies.
Did you get, oh my God. Okay. Did you get the 7 of Cups? You pulled the 7 of Cups, didn't you? That's what
Yes, I did.
That's why I kept going, because that's the second card that came up. So this is Elon Musk.
What is that?
Well, you see that's a skull here.
Oh yeah, yeah, and half a brain.
Okay, thank you. That's what she said. Okay.
And
and the challenge is the 7 of Cups. So creating a diversion or delusion and a contract.
Oh.
Almost like a blood contract. Honestly, God, these cards can be so dark. With the orange man paste face.
Oh my God.
So it's creating some kind of diversion delusion, or I don't know. That's pretty interesting that they're.
Can you pull some cards on why Bezos backed out of pulled the thing from, you know what I said, right?
Yeah.
So I repeat it.
Why he pulled the editorial. Right? Well, it doesn't mean it's not going to get published. Because really, who's going to threaten this man? Right? What are they going to threaten him with? Because he wants to be apolitical.
Yeah, but you're political. If your paper, which is not supposed to have anything to do with your opinion, right, has decided that Kamala Harris is the best person for the job, why are you not allowing them to say that? Washington Post, the Washington Post and the LA Times not endorsing at all. Oh, so they're not going to endorse at all, even though they've endorsed every presidential election in their history. People are canceling their subscriptions. Well, maybe that's the plot, right? I mean, we had Twitter. Twitter was a thing. Elon Musk gets involved in Twitter, and Twitter dissolves. And now Bezos gets in, and although he's been there for a while, I understand, but both are owned by billionaires. Yeah. Well, that's it. I mean, that's really it. I mean, honestly, do I have to pull cards on it? They don't want to pay taxes.
That's what's been the thing that drives
taxes.
Yeah, a lot of this is that the promise that they will be pardoned, forgiven, not have to pay taxes, not ever have to pay taxes again. And I guess that's really, really scary when, you know you're going to get caught. I mean,
if you have billions and billions of dollars, why can't you pay taxes? What are you going to do with all those billions? What do you do? Do you put them in a mattress and have like $1 billion mattresses? I mean, what do you do? You couldn't even fit $1 billion in a room.
I can't imagine.
It's ridiculous.
I got that he is kind of stuck. I've got the Eight of Swords sort of stuck in a contract, kind of caged in. The next card is the Hermit.
Ooh. Wow.
So in a contract there are some like secret things, something going on. The Five of Cups is the next card. So I want to say that he's probably being promised he's going to, some of this tax stuff, that it'll be more forgiven. And then the Seven of Cups again.
Illusion.
Delusion. I do want to say this week, what day is the Seven of Cups? Because if that card just keeps flying out, that's Tuesday the 29th. The moon enters Libra that day. So it might be something that we learn about what this is all about, is a Seven of Cups day. What do you think?
Oh, it's interesting because that day we have a Saturn sesquiquadrate Mars. Now, of course, sesquiquadrates, which, people are like, well, don't talk about it. No, but they're difficult aspects. The energy of a sesquiquadrate is to take something that's used to going this way, and sort of shutting it down and making it become more introspective. And Saturn, of course, is the rules, and Mars is action and movement, right? And all of that. So both in water, by the way. So I feel like when you were pulling up the cards, I almost felt the thing that came to mind, and I'll show you my cards in a second. But when I was looking at your cards, the thing that came to mind was when Trump loses, he doesn't want to be blamed for it. I don't know what that means. Like that was something that came into my head. Not that he would have,
he will never accept blame for anything. That's part of the narcissistic personality.
I know, but I almost feel like it's not like he doesn't really care. It's more that something could happen if he did, like somebody might want to attack him, or there might be maybe they have some compromat on him. It might be compromat. Okay, so I'll tell you what I got. I got the Queen of Discs, which is somebody who wants to keep their money. Lust, reversed. So that kind of sounds like what I just said, right? The Star, which is hope, but it's also distribution, right? Aquarius distributes all the information, like it just all comes out.
Yeah.
This Hierophant reversed. So this would be government. So I don't know, reversed or not. I don't know. And then the Six of Swords, moving out of troubled waters. I think that he might have been threatened that if he did, like, if that happened, if his newspaper or whatever got out, that they would do compromat. Because didn't they do something with him and his girlfriend or his wife, or there was like something, right? Didn't he get exposed for cheating or by
Yeah,
by
there's like nude
David
pics or
Stern?
something. Yeah, this like all the kinds of this stuff that really, we didn't have to see it. We believe you. Like it's just like that salacious stuff that always ends up being like, nobody's business. And yeah, I'm sure contentious divorce and everything else, but he's definitely, well, if you were Trump, those are the people that you would target, that you would want a quid pro quo
Great, great,
from.
great. Oh, yeah, yeah. Paula
You
says
would
Bezos
Bezos,
does,
Musk,
huh?
right? You would do like Bezos, Musk, like anybody that you can pull in the favors, you're gonna end up having some kind of contract with your devil.
Paula says Bezos does give a lot of money away and he has a great foundation. Well, that's good.
Good.
Good
And
to
I
know.
hope that, and I know that the ex-wife is
Yes.
really a rock star when it comes to doing that and just returning the.
Was that the woman who ran with RFK Jr.? Was that his ex-wife?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know.
If anybody knows that in the chat, let me know. Um, yeah, so I think it's probably more likely compromat of some sort.
Yeah. Yeah. So that'll be a really, really cool, interesting week with all these cups floating around. 1 week closer to. I feel very emotional about this. Maybe that's why I want to vote early. I just like that much closer to having like our first female Black president. I just relish in the idea of that. And I can't wait. I just can't wait.
Yeah, I've allowed myself a couple of moments of what it would feel like when she wins. And I've only given myself some moments because I know that, well, maybe I should go there more often. Maybe a little joy. I mean, it's certainly gotten us this far.
It's just like the karmic retribution that spirit promised us. All those readings, all those card pulls, it's like the karmic gift that spirit is to offer in the end is this, this moment in time, and said truly it was worth it.
Sue Ellen said Kamala had 30,000 people and Felon Don had 7,000. And maybe half of that actually waited around the 3 hours to hear him ramble about bullshit.
I think it really falls in that category that they're just sort of using these very small gatherings. They're paying these people a stipend to be there. They are obviously busing them in and then sort of abandoning them. That all of this is part of his witnessing his decline. That they're just kind of, telling him, yeah, they're giving him chicken and they're telling him it's steak,
So
we're about there.
The woman I'm talking about was his vice president. His somebody said RFK's wife is an actress. Yeah, she used to be on Curb Your Enthusiasm. I know that, but I'm talking about the woman who was his vice president running mate. I know she had. I thought she was married to somebody and she got a lot of money, or maybe she had a lot of money before that, and she used to give to a lot of democratic causes and stuff like that. So I don't know, but Mackenzie Scott is Bezos' ex-wife. She does a lot of good. Yeah. So does Melissa.
Yeah.
So does what's her name, Melissa Gates, right? All these like wives of
Yeah.
these except maybe for Musk, because was he married to Amber Heard? Was Musk married to Amber Heard? Or did she just have a baby with him?
I don't know. I don't follow his
Yeah, neither do I. I don't really.
thing.
Yeah. You don't follow his thing? Really?
I honestly, he's got that. He's so transparent that you could see through him.
Yeah, yeah. He's like an alien. He's got an alien. He's like
And
probably.
I always get like sweaty. I just like, I get that like somebody needs to take a shower. Like they smell sweaty. He's sweaty. I know it's he wears that signature that I can only identify that to him. I don't know if he's sick or diseased, but if I smell it on somebody else, I think Elon Musk. That's not a good, it's so intense.
Yeah,
So,
Nicole Shanahan was RFK's former running mate. Yes, yes. But I think she was married to somebody, and that's how she got a lot of her money through her divorce settlement. But I could be wrong about that. That's usually how women get money, because women don't usually get an opportunity to make money like men do.
right.
So it's like whatever way we can, we'll do it,
Paula Z said, and I know that I've heard this, that like behind the scenes, Vance and the rest of the 2025 group are planning to remove Trump after he's sworn in. Then they'll be able to do what they want to do. So
everybody thinks they can get Trump in, and then they'll do what they want to do. Trump does what he wants to do.
So does Putin, so does Kim Jong-un. Like all of them want him to get in because it's so bad. And yeah, I don't think they're taking him as seriously as some of these people are who are going to vote for him. They're definitely not taking him that seriously.
Let's see if their plan to dump the Trump is gonna. Well, they're not gonna win, so I don't know if we can ask that question. They're gonna lose. They're gonna lose. So it's like.
So how would you ask that? Is that the intent? If he won?
Yes.
Let's try that. Okay. So would that be the intent of JD and Donald and the kid that eats paste, and Ivanka's out of the thing, right? And Tiffany. So is that the plan? That, what do you get?
I got the universe reversed. So this is often giving birth to something. So this to me seems like an abort, right? Abort, right? And then I get futility, the Seven of Swords, and then the Ace of Wands reversed. So this is usually the start of something, and this is not. So it was never going to work. Even if they had won, it wouldn't have worked. But they ain't going to win, so it's like a thing. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry. You go. You tell me.
Yeah. If I were to ask if it's a collaboration and that is the intent, I get equanimity. I do get that I would say yes.
Yeah, that was.
I would say yes. And the star card.
Hope springs eternal.
Or, he's the star. He's the, reality TV star. And they're sort of putting that forward. And then I get the Nine of Wands, Nine of Fire.
Okay.
But it's going to cause too much chaos. The cards on the bottom are about earth, money, preserving. The 6 of earth, family, money. Look, right? There's Eric and Don Jr., right? And then the 7 of earth. So what they can reap from the disaster, because it looks like they try, but the wheels fell off the chariot on that ride.
Yeah, the wheels fell off the chariot a long time ago.
Right.
but the media has to make its money, so
It is, I guess, a way of trying to sustain the wealth in the family, because it's just going to take a downward turn. I can't imagine it moving in any other direction, right?
So,
Grifting grifters.
how about pulling some cards on the health of our democracy after the election? So, if somebody mentioned they like the cards I'm using, this is the top deck. I'm bringing out the big guns.
What was that? That's an intense deck.
It's an intense deck. I know. I'm in an intense mood today, so using an intense deck. I've been studying Pluto today. I've been spending all my time looking at the synodic cycle that Pluto is going to be doing in 2025. So it's pretty intense stuff.
I've been kind of cursing Pluto today, so
I'm telling you, girl.
I know, probably shouldn't do that. This would be the state of our democracy. Once the election's over and we sort of calm down, maybe like you got some good cards, right?
I've got some good cards. I'll let you pick too. Oh, I'm all like my cheeks are all red. I look like I had a glass of wine, but I did not. Oh, is the heat on? I'm gonna go shut the heat off. I'm gonna roll over here and shut the heat off. Oh. All right.
What'd you get?
So I got the two of wands, ill disposed. So this is Dominion.
Mm-hmm.
This card is Dominion, but it's upside down. And then I get the 9 of swords, which in this deck is cruelty, but it's upside down.
Mm-hmm.
So and then I get the Ace of Swords, which is truth, right? The Empress, which is Kamala, and strength.
Okay.
So it's going to be stronger.
Yeah.
We're going to be strong. I feel like it's the end of. There's a. I think we're going to move away from all the war stuff, because I feel like, and as I was doing the Pluto stuff today, sometimes when you're deep into the weeds of all that stuff comes into your head. And I said to myself, I think it's going to be a year of where there's going to be a lot of things around climate change, and people are not going to want to. They're going to want to take care of their own backyard, kind of thing, because it's necessary. It needs to be taken care of, and it's going to take the energy away from all this war stuff. And I don't know, without I feel like that's sort of that we're moving in another direction, especially with Pluto in Aquarius, because it's power to the people.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know if it's not going to miraculously change, but at least we're going in a new direction. I feel like that's what these cards said. What are your cards saying?
I have the first one is like exhaustion. The democracy is kind of exhausted. The five of cups.
Yeah.
And it might be exhaustion because right away things aren't going to change. I got the King of Fire. And then as it calms down, maybe in 6 months or something, the Six of Pentacles. So as some of these plans are starting, we're starting to hold her accountable to some of these things, and they start up. I get the Hierophant, the rules, and then I end up with the Two of Wands.
Yeah,
So it'll be assisted with the right rules in place, and she'll be held accountable to the things, her to-do list or wish list. She will be held accountable to them, but it won't happen right away. She's exhausted.
Oh, you talking about Kamala or the country?
Our next president.
I know. Well, she, yeah. Well, there's going to be stuff. I don't think things are going to be as clear as her win is. There's going to be other stuff that they all these shenanigans, all this obfuscation. But I'm telling you, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. And the less that we get anxious about it while it's happening, the better off we'll be.
Yeah.
Because you want to focus your energy on what you want to create, not on what people are trying to scare you with.
Yeah.
It's like you have to be realistic. I understand that. You can't just say, "Oh, I'm going to have the perfect world and everything's." That's not what I mean. I mean, like, you just every day you just keep doing your thing to the best of your ability and make friends. We have to come together. We have to come together.
Paula asked me what deck this was. This is Angel Tarot, and I don't have the box for it anymore. I think and I will try and post it. I'll look it up and try and post the exact name, but it's Angel's deck. That I know.
And Duffy says, I've always felt that a massive military budget could be allocated to climate crisis response. Yeah, well, it is our greatest national. They have said that climate change is our greatest national security issue.
It would be nice if we didn't have to rely on the National Guard too. She said the climate crisis response department, instead of relying on the National Guard. Wouldn't it be great if they were sort of like, dissolved out of a job because they weren't needed? But they're needed for like these national disasters, these floods and hurricanes and stuff. So I think the National Guard is important.
You know how I said I feel like this toxic masculine stuff, the need for healing, and I mean that's the kind of work that these guys need to do, right? These good old boys, and they're not all good old boys. I understand that, but the sense of they want to be heroes. They want to be heroes. Let them be heroes, right? That's a natural thing. I mean, when you get all like wrapped up in your own sort of masculine energy, you want to be you're a nurse. You want to save the day. I'm a doctor. You want to take somebody out of pain. You want your action. Let's take care of this problem, right? And we can do that. There's plenty of problems that we don't have to create this other stuff, because all that stuff is just the people who are trying to do the manipulation.
Right. Absolutely. Ooh, this is going to be a crazy week.
So, you want to just pull some cards for the week?
Yeah. I'm going to do an oracle card, and Giblets and I will do an oracle card tomorrow for the week also. He's so funny.
Jib?
He just loves it. He loves it. Anything that involves a treat,
Well, I hate to tell you, but I'm on Team Giblets when it comes to that.
It's like the best thing. He's just like a little old man now, he's hard of hearing, and it's just he's calming down a little bit.
Wow.
For the week.
Okay. I got some cards. Let's see what it says here. Okay. What'd you get, sweetie pie?
I got Earth pulsing, pulse of the Mother Earth, slow down, time out in nature, take time in nature. So if you haven't noticed all the cool leaves changing right now, that's going to be the place where you like have to pour your emotional stuff into. Is the Earth is ready to like, she's like holding on to the stuff that if you need to scream into your pillow, she's got a pillow for you. It does definitely change the perspective if you're outside. And hold the vision. Hold the vision.
So these are the cards that came out of the deck. The Ace of Pentacles.
Okay. Oh, good.
The Fool. And the Ace of Cups. Right? So new beginnings all around.
Yeah.
And then I picked a Tree of Life Oracle card, and I got Judgment, the 31st Path, Aeon, Fortitude, Renewal, Truths Revealed. Truths Revealed. This path is associated with Pluto. And of course, Pluto is moving out of Capricorn. And as Pluto moves out of Capricorn, truths are being revealed.
Which is also Friday. That is 20/2 day. Friday, the new moon day.
That's right. And that new moon is
November 1st.
Really powerful. Really powerful. All Souls Day, right?
You pulled the card. You just pulled the card.
All Saints Day. It's All Saints Day. I should know that because I was born in the church. Also, All Saints Day, new moon in Scorpio, and there's a kite in the sky with all three transpersonal planets, Mercury and Mars. It is going to be a shit-kicking November, let me tell you. But we're going to win. So we're going to win, and it's a shit-kicking November. Now,
it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay.
Going to be okay. I'm telling you, it's going to be okay. I have a friend. Oh my God. She's like, I'm hanging on to your prediction that Kamala's going to win. She's going into, she lives in New Jersey, but she volunteered to be a poll watcher in Pennsylvania. She lives like right on the New Jersey Pennsylvania border. Yeah. So because it's a swing state and all that stuff, I'm sure they're keeping an eye. But yeah, I mean, it's good, guys. It's good. I don't want anybody to fret. Just do what you got to do. Vote your vote.
Yeah.
Bring somebody to vote. Whatever you got to do to just grease the wheels here, because we are on a whole new. We're going in a whole new direction. We're going in a whole new direction.
It's going to be a good week.
I think so. All right, guys. Thanks for joining us. It's great to see you all. I hope you enjoyed yourself. Next week, it'll be on Ona's channel. And until then, and we're going to be doing moon shadows this week, probably Wednesday or Thursday, I think, because the new moon is on Friday. So don't miss that, because the chart is unbelievable, or very believable. All the charts have been unbelievable.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right, guys. Take care, everyone.